Hi, in this video we'll try to load a real world dataset, and I was just thinking about Netflix. We watch a lot of TV, so I thought I'll go ahead and download the Netflix viewing history CSV file. Once we have that file, we can load that into Power BI and create certain reports. And in your web browser, search for Netflix viewing history, or if you have already logged on to your account, you can go ahead and download the CSV file. You can just do that so that you can also look at your viewing history. And in the end, I'll leave the PBI template file in the description box below, so that once you click on that template, you can load your own file and look at the visuals. So as a first step, you can do that. In case if you want to follow along, please watch this video till the end. And once we have that, let us try to go back to our Power BI desktop, and by using get data text CSV file, we can load our file. Here we are. Like I said, if you want to use your own Netflix, you can go ahead and download and follow the instructions. By clicking the template, you can add your own file path to that area. So click on text CSV, get data, and let me try to transform the data, because we want to do some transformations in Power Query window editor. So let us do that. Let us click on transform data. Once we click on that, the Power Query editor window will show up. And here there are only two columns. This is the original dataset. So we have a title and a date column. So in the title, if you can see, there is a title and also there is a colon. And we have to kind of use some certain split column functions and try to extract whether it is a TV show or maybe another documentary or a movie. So what we could do is highlight the title. Like I said, you have a colon and all, so you have your series and episode 1, like I highlighted here. And once you select this particular title column, then you can split this column into wherever the colon is there, we can split them into as number of columns. So highlight that and go to the top, and you can either, like I said, you can add column, or maybe you want to split the same column into different columns. You can do that too. So we are going to do the second method. We're going to use that method. So select the title column and click on split column and select by delimiter. And we know that the delimiter is colon, so we can use that in our conditions. We can say, hey, every time this colon appears, just give me a new column each occurrence. So we have 3 columns here. We can go ahead and rename them. We can rename the first column as show name, and second column also we can name them. We have the same kind of data set, but only thing is we have split the title column into 3 different columns, so that we'll try to differentiate between TV show, and if it is not, then we'll try to put that into another bucket. So first column is show name, and second we'll name it as season, and also the third column will be the episode. So if you are watching a TV show, you have your season as the second column and also the name of the episode. So let us try to rename the third column too. Let us name that as episode. Once we have done that, then additionally what we can do is next logical step is that we can create a conditional column and say, hey, if this particular column, if it has no values, or if it is blank or null, then this is a different bucket, and if it is not, then it is a TV show. So we'll try to do that. Let us try to look at the data. So you can look at all the 3 columns, and we'll try to verify that, hey, our split function worked perfectly. Looks like it is. So if you click on any kind of thing, for example, we have clicked on Agatha Christie's Crooked House, we know that it is not a TV show, so that is the reason why your season has null. So let us try to create additional column. We'll try to create add conditional column, and we'll name it as TV show or other. And if this particular say season is equal to null, right, that is a condition we know. If it is equal to null, then this would be the output. What is that output? So think about it. So if the season equals to null, and the output should be other, right? And if not, then it is a TV show, right? So we understand that for TV shows you have your seasons and episodes, so that way we have additional column based off of that whatever is there in the season column. Now we have a new column, and if you kind of load more data points, you have two categories, other and TV show. I think this is one way of looking at the data. So from the title, we split that into three columns, and also we have added an additional column, and we have kind of categorized based on whether the value null is there or not in season column. So we have this column. We can whatever reports pages we create in Power BI, we can use this column as a slicer or whatever based on our needs. So let us try to keep it simple. Let us not do a complicated reports. We'll try to do something simple. And like I said, in the end, I will make sure that there is a template created, and I will leave the link to the template in the description box below. So now that we are happy with the transformation we did, we can just go ahead and click on close and apply. Once we click on close and apply, your data will be in your Power BI desktop. The standard steps are being shown here. Once we do that, like on the data panel, you have your Netflix history. So that is the first step. So once we have done that, we can go ahead and make sure that whatever transformations were made, we have this. And mostly, right, we don't watch Netflix every day, most of us. So most likely there is a gap in between days. So I thought we should have a separate table. So we'll try to create a calendar table. In case if you have watched some of my videos, I have given instructions how to create a calendar table. So let us do that. Let us try to create calendar table. To save time, I've added the code, and we are using calendar function, which expects min 2 dates, the min date of Netflix history and max date, that is the range. And we have added separate columns for year, month, number as such. So once we do that, and the next logical step is go into the model view, and this is the main table, Netflix viewing history, and we'll try to drag date and the calendar table. We have to create a relationship, right? So that we can use the calendar table in our reports. So we have one-to-one many cardinality and a single cross filter direction. Once we have that, we can do that. And also we have to convert this calendar table into a date table. So all we have to do is click on those three dots or ellipses, mark as date table. And once we enable that, we have to choose the column. In our case, calendar has a date table, so we have a date table. So so far we have created additional columns in Power Query. And also in Power BI Desktop, we have created a calendar table because we want continuous dates so that we can use month, year, and day of the week and as such in our report pages. So we have these tables. Now we are ready with creating a simple measure. So we want to count the total, right? So all we have to do is create a measure named as total and count rows. The base table is Netflix viewing history. We'll use that. Once we count that and do the formatting, we have the total. That is the only measure we are going to create because this is something which I wanted to do. So let us create. I've already created all the pages, so we'll go step by step. In the first page, I've named that as a glimpse, and I've used a pie chart, and these are the fields which I've passed: year, month, name, and day of the week. And in the values expected field, I've added total. So once you do that, and you can go to the next levels by clicking those two down arrows, and it will give you the month, and another two twice. If you click on it, it will go to your day of the week. So this is good. User has a option to kind of drill down into the data and see by year, by month, and by day. Similarly, I've used a funnel chart in the below, and as you can see, I've added the data too. So this is also, you can go to different levels, and let me just click on that and make sure that we have those values. We have added year, month, name, and day. All these things are coming from the calendar table, and we have added the total measure to the values. So that way we have, when you click on, go to the another level, and once you click on those down arrows, you have those things available. So this visual looks good as such, because we want to make sure that we use the Netflix dataset and try to get insights from that. So I've just added some color for the colors. I've added some kind of formatting gradient. In case if you want, you can create a specific conditional formatting measure, but in this case we are just using that. And also I've added a table visual, and table visual I've added date, show name, season, episode, those four fields, and as we know, using Power BI, we can kind of filter from each and every visual. So by clicking on one particular value in a visual, other visuals also those change. That is a basic functionality, nothing fancy here. So we have a pie chart, we have a funnel chart, and also a table chart. Once we have that, we can also create another visual. It's based on your needs, right? So I just use the tree map here, and in the tree map I've added a couple of things. I've used month name as the category, day of the week as details, and in the tooltips I've added two things: earliest date and latest date. So we want to see on a particular month, on a particular day of the week, what is the earliest date when we watched Netflix, and what is the latest date. So that way we have gone and added the date field here, as you can see, and in the summarization I've used latest and earliest. So those are the two tooltips. So whenever you hover over any of the data in your tree map, let us do that and see practically. Once you hover, you have those things available. You have your earliest date and all. So if you go to the next levels, it will also show you by the day of the week and all. So like I said, you can use any kind of visuals. So if you click on any of those points and any of those visuals, these are interactive. You can always change these. You can go and edit interactions from the format section up top on the menu. So you can do that. But in case if you want all the visuals to be interactive, you can just leave it as a default. So in the second page, I've added more visuals, so that you have your table visual, and I have added TV show and total. And the second, I've used year and total, and the year is column is coming from calendar table, and I've used gauge chart in the third visual. So nothing fancy here. So we just wanted to show at a glimpse, in case if somebody wants to see more visuals, they can see them. And each and every visual is interactive, and I've used a distinct count, a count of season. So and also on the right you can see count of episode. And I've used another visual, and I've used a waterfall. And for the waterfall, let me just close that. And I've added year to the category, and to the y-axis I've added total. So as you can see, on the x-axis you have your year 2021 and 22, 29 up until 29, and in fact it is up to 24, but based on the values it is sorted by the values, so you can see them. And similarly you have your chart here on the bottom, day of the week, and another bar chart here, and a gauge chart. So you can use any kind of visual. So I thought I'll use these visuals, so that way we have a report page that has many visuals, interactive. And if you want, you can add a slicer up top too. That way you have the interactive facility option there too. But since we know that we can use any visual and kind of filter other visuals, so I have done that. And the third, I've added a area chart, as you can see. And this is the area chart, and once you do that, you have your area chart shown on this report page. And I've added to the x-axis date, and to the y-axis I've added total, and to the legend I've added day of the week, so that it is coming again from the calendar table. And if you hover over any of those points, it will tell you those are the on particular day you watched on a particular date, right? I've enabled the data labels and all. Now, in additionally, for example, if you hover over any point, you have those number of shows you have watched on that, right? In case if you want to see what are the shows, so what I thought is I went ahead and created a tooltip page, which is a table tooltip. Again, go to a new page, make that page as a tooltip, and do all those standard things when you create a tooltip page. And in the tooltip page, I have added, dragged the table visual onto it, and I have added 4 fields: date, show name, season, and episode. So those 4 things are available on that. So that way, when you add this as a tooltip visual to any visual, so this table values will show up. So let us try to go back to a previous page, area chart, and select the visual. We have only one visual, so no worries. Click on that, make the selections, and go to format section, go to properties, go to tooltips. Instead of page auto, directed to the page what we have just created, table tooltip. So that way, once we have that, if you hover over any kind of point, for example, in this case, we have those shows. What are the shows and what's date and all, right? We have added date, show name, season, and episode. So those things are appearing as you hover. So that way, in a single page, the user is able to see an area chart which has a legend day of the name, and also the table visual once you hover on it, and also the data labels are enabled. So you have seen by looking at this particular visual, you can see. And the final thing, I just wanted to add another chart. I have used a stacked bar chart, and up top I have used a visual slicer, and once you click on any of those things, the visual will change. And also I have added the table tooltip to this stacked bar chart. So that way, once you make any selections the user makes on that, those things are changed. As you can see, the Schitt's Creek is the number one. We have watched that in different years, 2020 and 2021. It is also giving you the breakdown, how many we watched in 2020 and 2021. And I just wanted to swap out instead of the TV show, that slicer, I wanted to change it to month year. Once I do that, I have that particular table here. So what I want to do is, in calendar we did not sort month year, so let us select month year and sort by month year number. That way your data and your slicer also will start from the first month of whatever viewing in your account. In my case, it was way back in 2019, December 2019. So that's when I just started watching Netflix. So in my account, the details are there. So in your account it might be different, but this way we have a slicer up top which is coming from calendar table month year, and if you hover over any of those data points, drill down, those things are available, so as you can see. And you have your title here. In case 2021, we watched The Crown 40 episodes, and hover over it, again we are using the same table tooltip page. So this looks good. I think this is one way of kind of using a real world dataset and creating report pages. That way you're exposed to real world dataset also. And I'm leaving the PBI template as a link in the description box below. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.